The dangers of the internet are real, and we have encountered some things in our family that honestly I never thought we would, and that was because we weren't ready for it. And so I want to talk to you guys today about preparing your home to protect your children from the internet. I know that sounds slightly dramatic, but the internet is a dangerous place. And we need to be really, really careful what we are allowing our children to access. I know for us that we really didn't think about it. We didn't overthink it. We didn't consider if we gave them access to YouTube, all of the things that they could see. The rabbit trail of YouTube is a dangerous one. And even YouTube Kids isn't safe. If you've seen the things that have been coming out in the news recently, which frankly have been going on for years, and I'm not quite sure why the media is just picking it up, because I knew about the stuff with YouTube Kids several years ago. And all this goes to show is that we have to be careful, because things like YouTube, I'm making a video for YouTube right now, YouTube is a great resource. There are so many amazing things on here that I love to be able to share with my children. But there are also a lot of other things that are not kid appropriate at all. And even sometimes the ads that your kids will see on YouTube when they're watching something are not kid appropriate. So today I just want to talk to you about lots of different things regarding internet safety and how you can protect your children. If you're new to my channel, I'm Michelle, and this is A Common Life. I am a mom of 5 kids. Their ages are 5 through 13. So we have a young child, and we also have a teenager, and an 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old, and an 7-year-old. So we have kids, lots of different ages. And of course, they want to be on the internet. They want to watch YouTube. They want to watch Netflix. They want to play video games because that's what their friends are doing. But I'm going to be honest with you. You need to be really, really careful what you are letting your kids watch. Now let's start with Netflix. Netflix has ratings. And so what we have done is we have set it up so that anything that is above, this might sound extreme, but anything that is above a G rating, my husband or I have to put in a passcode to allow them to have access to watch that. Unfortunately, what we found is that Netflix isn't that great at categorizing shows, and there are lots of things on there that are not rated, which would fall into that category of G or below, that the kids have freedom to watch. And so we ran into issues where our kids were watching things that we did not think were appropriate for them. I would just say be very, very careful. Now let's talk about the internet. The internet has a lot of really good things and a lot of really, really bad things that you can find very, very, very easily with a simple internet search. If you do not have some type of program or device in your home to protect your children, you need to seriously go right now and buy one, because little do you know what your kids are watching, what they are having access to. Because if you don't have some type of software that is protecting them from adult sites, they can see anything. And I'm sure you don't want them to be seeing these things, especially at such a young age. And kids are really, really curious. And they'll see one thing, which will take them to another, which will take them to another. And they can go 10, 12, 20 ways down this rabbit trail before they hit anything that is inappropriate, but they'll hit it eventually. They can go from Pokemon to porn in 5 steps, probably actually in 1 step. But you know what I mean? Like, they can go very, very quickly from one thing to another. So I'm going to tell you what we have been using in our home. This is not sponsored. There's no affiliate link. There's nothing like that. This is me sharing with you from my heart, because I feel like this is so important. Like, I'm very passionate about this. So like I said, not sponsored, but we are using in our home the Disney Circle to protect our children. The Disney Circle lets you set up filters basically at whatever level you want, or as specific as you want. So there is like kid filters based on age. There's a teen filter. There's an adult filter. There's like custom filters. And then within those filters, you can choose what your children are allowed to access, what websites they can go to, what types of websites. Can they check email? Can they use a search engine? YouTube can be blocked like that. There are safe search options. And then one of the really awesome things is that they have a program that you pay in. I think it's $4.99 a month. I mean, we didn't have it when we originally got the Circle, but we have now since gotten it. And it allows you to control the amount of time that your kids are on the internet. Because unfortunately, we have some sneaky children who were sneaking devices at night when my husband and I were already in bed and we had no clue, and they had full access to all of the internet and we had no idea. And so we have set it up so that at certain times of the day, they can access these devices when we allow them to, and then they shut down. They have no internet access at a certain point. That's completely customizable. You can set it up however you want. Right now, our kids have 0 internet access unless we allow them to. So it is just set at the default of no time at all, no matter what the day of the week is. And then we can decide when we want to give them internet access. So you don't necessarily have to buy into that program. That has just been really, really great for us. But I would highly recommend getting something like the Disney Circle, something that you can use to filter out content, because children are so impressionable. And there's something about that visual memory. If they're seeing things at a very young age, it sticks and it stays in their brain. And some of the stuff that my kids were seeing was like ridiculous cartoon things that were inappropriate. And I don't even know that they completely understood what they were seeing. But it wasn't for kids at all. And that's the issue, is like kids, they're not good at deciphering what is for children and what is not. Classic example of that type of situation was back when we first had Netflix, before we could filter anything or anything like that. This is years and years ago. I think Grace was maybe 4 years old. I walked into the room and she was watching a movie on Netflix, and it had a bunch of dinosaurs in it, and she loved dinosaurs at the time, and I didn't really think anything of it until I saw the dinosaur bite off a person's head and like rip their head off. And I was like, what in the world? What are you watching? She had found a horror movie on Netflix. And because we didn't have any type of filter set up, we didn't have anything like that, my daughter, who was like 4 years old, was watching a dinosaur horror movie without even realizing it, because she saw some cool dinosaurs and thought she would want to watch it. Like that, that kind of stuff we really need to figure out a way to control, because that's not appropriate at all. And frankly, I feel like this is good for adults as well, because there are lots of times when we can go down that rabbit hole. Or, I know lots of people who have internet addictions. And if you can set up these types of filters or like time limits for yourself and things like that, they can be really, really helpful. So, like I said, this is not sponsored. This is just something that I feel super passionate about. And I really feel like we have to protect our children. We have to protect our children. It's our job. And so if we can do this one thing, I think it can make a world of difference. So I'm being really frank with you. I really feel like you need to talk to your spouse, or, if you're a single parent, do the research now, like right now, and figure this out. Because if you don't, your kids are going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm telling you, they're going to go down that rabbit hole. And they're going to see things you don't want them to see. So I wanted to quickly interrupt this video just to say that I'm worried that some people will watch this video and think that we completely shelter our kids. And I just wanted to let you know that as our kids get older, as they mature, that we do allow them more access to the internet, more access to different things like that. But as they are young, I think it's really important, before they reach that age where they have discernment, to, kind of set up those filters. That way they are protected. So I just wanted to say that in case anyone's going to watch this and think, oh my goodness, they're sheltering their kids so much now. Once our kids get older, we don't shelter them as much, but we do set parameters and boundaries and teach them right from wrong and all of that. And obviously every family is going to be different. But for us, this works really, really well, especially for curious kids with not a lot of discernment yet. So I just wanted to add that in. So I would be very, very careful, and I would take the time right now, or as soon as you possibly can, figure out a filtering system that you can use in your home. Like I said, I love the Disney Circle. It has an upfront cost. I'm not sure how much it costs upfront. And then after that, it's free unless you decide to do that upgrade that we have done. But the upgrade, you don't need that, not to filter. Filtering comes with the Disney Circle. So that's the one that I know personally, because that's the one that we use. But if there's something else that would work, use that. But filter what your children are seeing, because you need to protect them. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Yeah, obviously I feel really passionate about it. It makes me very, very sad, the things that our children can see. And honestly, to kind of expand upon that, I would be really careful who you let them hang out with, because how many kids have phones nowadays and they can access anything on their phones? Anything. So just remember that. Thanks for watching this video. If you'd like to see more videos about homeschool, motherhood, and everything in between, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and have a great day.